So I'm doing my hyper check-in. And yes.
Okay, I'm also done. So what the focus on topics, so the priority are communications, internal operations, and client work. What do you want to, so what is going to be the first of client work is the first priority?
Yeah, I think overall our goal is always trying to prioritize client work first, and then obviously prioritizing client work that is, that we haven't spent, 1.5 hours per week on, right? So let's see what today is. So today is the beginning of the full moon. No, so the first quarter moon week. So we just finished the week of the new moon, and so now we're beginning the week of the first quarter moon. So that does mean that we should be fine in terms of as long as we have 1.5 hours per week for the assignment, which we can find out, then we can work on pretty much anything for this week, right? But we are supposed to verify all of our client work for the potential income from the client so that we know that it is verified that we can work on it, instead of just assuming that we get paid, right? It's like if you're paid to do something, you're not just going to just randomly work on something and hope I get paid, right? You actually verify that it's something you're getting paid for. Does that make sense?
4, 5. Open your eyes.
The other thing that I was, I think is going to be internal operations, that I was doing my value tracking this weekend, and I see that there is a lot of sessions that we are missing we're missing the value tracking of those sessions. Let me double check if the wrap up is where you leave the income value tracking. So we're missing a lot of wrap income value tracking on those sessions, and also we are missing the previous month. So in May, I don't know where to put my hours.
Yeah, I mean, so overall, it's that's like one of the problems with value tracking. If you don't track your value in real time, you sort of lose value. That's part of why it's so important to prioritize doing value tracking and doing our payroll setup and all of that. So it's we really need to do payroll setup for the 12 degree east. Like we're way behind on that, over a week behind already. So that's something we might want to consider. And then we can also look at past moon months as well. But that would be part of just like the payroll, right? I mean, right? Is that what you're talking about? Just doing the payroll?
Yeah, the payroll and again sorry, I don't know why the income value tracking, so I can put the hours that we work.
The income value tracking is only applicable to this month, right? Because before there was no budget, right? You weren't in the budget, so for this month we need to do the payroll setup so that we can track the client work that we're doing now.
Okay.
And we already have it all set up to estimate. We can estimate the daily and weekly income, or not pay, right? So that's all very, very important to be done. But again, that just requires us doing the payroll setup, which shouldn't take long, but it is essential to do.
I got a question. We got any? Oh, let's not discuss over the topic. So let's do client work, and then we can move forward into the internal operations later.
So we need to get focused on our first topic.
Time for breath.
We still don't have a topic
yet.
Get
ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax. tax.
So if we wanted to do, I mean, obviously internal operations, we've got payroll, we've got documentations, coordination, all that. So for the client work, we've got the tokens. We have the new investment, agreement, right? And we had the FQN payrolls. Isn't that correct? Before I forget, there is one other cool thing. Or actually, before, one other thing on internal operations is our publicly searchable communications. Like, we do need to get that set up because your pay is basically zero if you're not doing publicly searchable communications. Does that make sense?
Well, that will be a top priority then.
Yes, of course. Very important priority. So we could also review our pay calculations because it's just important to know this by heart. Like, we need to know perfectly how our payroll is calculated so that we can do the work and get paid properly. So, if you're not sure about the publicly searchable communications, for me that means that we need to review the payout calculations. Maybe we could just do that as part of the publicly searchable communications discussion. But yeah, so client work, I think there's the tokens there. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to mention that there is some interesting news. Me and Lucy were doing the accounting, and we were trying to simplify the accounting and only focus on accounting that is really applicable to the co-op and and the actual organizations that we run. And so within Activity and within some of the token vaults, we did find some significant value. It's not internal to SFC or FQN, but it is within Activity and the whole business model. So for the whole for-profit, in that we found $12,000 that backs past tokens. So this money is not, it's in the token, so we don't have direct access to it without organizing the token and figuring out who actually owns this value and this money, right? But that is a lot of money that we are now able to put into our budget, and that we can budget out that fact that basically we are not having to cut the budget any further. So it doesn't increase our budget, but it prevents us from having to cut our budget, which is great.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Yes. Good. All right, so what do you want to focus on for our first topic?
Tokens.
You want to do the tokens?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we have the. Say what?
Yes, sir.
What
That you always told me that is the highest priority, so yeah, let's go with the tokens.
Yeah, very important. It's all related though, but yeah. So for the tokens, I'm kind of leaning in the direction of maybe we can just do kind of like a status update, for the token profile plan. And so this could be really quick, like 6 to 12 minutes, just like get on same page for next steps. And then I would say we would want to get into let's do a view up actually. So let's do a view up, because once we have our status, we can have more clarity on what we need to do. But I think what we need to do is we need to get into the umbrella investment tokens. Like for me, that's really my focus right now. So, but let's do the status update and kind of get on the same page, so that we can make sure that's exactly what we want to do. Because there are some other options, including the finalizing the audit amounts, or audit information, right? Audit profiles for the 4 tokens, right? For the 4 priority tokens. All right. So let's take a look at the status update, kind of see where we are, and with our plan. Okay. So that sound good for topic 1?
Sure.
Okay. So we know what the goal is, right?
Done. I already created the page.
Awesome, yeah. So we know what the goal is, right? And we should link our client work organizing spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet. That is where it's listed all the priority of the cost of the client.
Oh, this would be for, this is the SFC token profiles client work organizing spreadsheet. So this would be the client work spreadsheet for this client. We're doing client work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the first thing you do when you take on work and take on responsibilities?
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch. So what were you saying?
That I think I am misplaced that because what I got is this. Please, that we already vote on.
Vote?
Oh. So, okay, let me do another question. Is the client coordination work organization spreadsheet correct? What are we looking for?
No, our topic is we're doing the token profiles, right? This is SFC co-op token profiles. It's client work. Are you not, you don't understand?
Yeah, but
so the first thing you do whenever you take on client work is you need to know the name of the client work you're doing. Well, any responsibility. You know the name, and you have the link to the work organizing or the responsibility training and all that. This particular assignment has no responsibility training because it's new. We've never really done it before, so we need to we need to get organized, which is why we have the FQN token profile client work organizing spreadsheet.
So I bring the right one. Okay, great.
Well, I don't know what this is. It says client coordination work organizing spreadsheet. I don't know what that is.
Okay, is this the one?
No, it's obviously not the one because we need the SFC token profiles client work organizing spreadsheet. The topic, what topic do we have right now? Is it client coordination or is it tokens profiles?
Token.
Yeah, so you got the wrong spreadsheet. That's for client coordination work organizing. That's not what we're doing right now. That's what you would do if you're completely confused and you have no idea what you're working on for client work. You would want to get organized with your client work, so you would do client coordination.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay. You told me before that this is something that we're going to do.
Stop.
Brand new.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I couldn't understand. What?
Good. If I understand correctly, tell me this is the first time that we're going to work on this topic, so I don't have this.
Not even close. It's probably the third or fourth time and probably just not organized. So, so do you have a main sheet? Or a main doc?
My work reporting doc.
No, like a main sheet or a main doc?
My main doc, that's correct.
You have a main doc?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you prefer to have a main sheet or are you fine with your main doc or what?
Well,
you need to link all of your important priority work needs to be linked to your main sheet or your main doc. So you never lose it ever.
Okay. I already linked it.
What did you link?
my main doc.
Okay, no, but you need to link all of our work to your main doc.
Guys, I put my that in the work reporting.
I don't know what that means. I'm telling you, every time you take on a responsibility, you need a list of responsibilities in your main doc, your main sheet. You need to list them all and have all the links to all the work organizing and or responsibility training and everything, so you know what exactly you're doing.
That's correct. So let me do a double check. 1 moment, please. Okay. So sorry for the delay. I already got the right document.
Where did you find it?
In the place that you tell me that it needs to be. I'll leave it there.
In your main doc. You found it in your main doc?
It's in my work reporting.
Okay, but it needs to be in your main doc or your main sheet.
Okay.
Your work reporting is like, that's where you track your hours.
Okay, I already did that.
Okay, finally. All right, so that was unfortunate that we are so disorganized. So hopefully in the future that should take about 3 seconds instead of 5 minutes, all right?
Okay.
And we should be doing lots of policy training, but we don't do policy training, so we're just going to skip it, and we'll hopefully get agreement on our negative tokens and do it automatically.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
All right, so this is the 4th session that we've done on this, and so the first thing we need to do is copy and paste the notes into our SFC Co-op Token Provides Client Work Organizing spreadsheet so that we never lose the information.
You mean this session is already being put in the.
This is the
WCG
4th. This is at least the 4th session that we've done. So this is why it's so important to be organized, because you're sitting here saying like, oh, we never even worked on this ever before. And I'm like, this is literally the 4th time we worked on this, and you should already know what's going on and be telling me what's going on instead of sitting here pretending like you know nothing and have no idea what's going on, which is like really frustrating. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, it's the specifics of the name that sometimes I miss it. Sorry.
Yes, it is difficult sometimes to make sure you know the names. We could also get numbers and stuff, but sometimes it's hard to memorize numbers, so names are usually easier than numbers. But either way, the point is that you can verify exactly what we worked on before by having the notes all linked, and so you could click on it, link on it, understand it, and get better over time. Does that make sense? Because otherwise you just lose everything and then you don't know what is going on. So can you link today's notes to our list of sessions?
I already did.
Where?
Oh, sorry. 1 moment, please. In the WCG team sheet.
Okay, but that's the link for our overall notes for the entire team and for the whole session, right? But now we're in topic 1. So now for our work organizing, the whole point of work organizing is to create continuity and organization for every single time we work on the token status, right? Or the work on the tokens, right? So the thing is that we don't always work on the tokens at every session. So it's important to make sure we're tracking the progress of our token work and keeping our token work organized. So this is topic 1.
So that means the previous session that we work on tokens, correct? To bring it over.
No, the other way around. We need to link our notes to the session tab of the SFC Token Profiles Client Work Organizing spreadsheet.
Pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Because the only reason I know that we've worked on this 3 other times is because the links are there and organized properly. Otherwise, they would just disappear. We have no idea that we even worked on this. Because we're not going to go through 100 different links to all of our session notes for the entire team just to find 3 links. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm doing that right now.
Thank you.
I think it's done.
I don't see it.
In the client coordination work organization spreadsheet, in sessions.
Oh my god. So you need to start doing policy training because this is getting ridiculous. Like, you're the one who brought up this whole client work organizing thing. We're not doing client work organizing. I don't know why you're even bringing it up. I don't know why you're even talking about it. We're focusing on token profiles and you keep bringing up client work organizing. So this would be 0.25 policy training because you are getting on a wrong topic, which is the incorrect topic, which is against policy because you keep talking about the wrong topic. And it's just taking time. Does that make sense? Because instead of focusing on the tokens, you're focusing on client coordination. We're not doing client coordination right now. If you want to work on client coordination, we can. Then we can stop this topic and we'll start a different topic. Does that make sense?
No, please. One moment, please. Okay, I already find the spreadsheet. I see that you already put the notes in there.
No, where? What are you talking about? Which line?
So, okay, first question. SFC co-op token profiles client work organization spreadsheet. That is the document that we need to update with this session, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I already got it. So I see here that we have 3 sessions, and okay, I'm ready. A moment. Okay, it's done.
Awesome. Finally. Okay, so that took us, I don't even know, because we're not tracking time because we're not following
Time
policies.
to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Anyway, so I'm going to do policy training for just being over time and not tracking time. So, because I'm just tired of it. Not tracking time, going over time. Yes. Okay. So anyways, we need to take a break now, but basically we've done nothing for this topic and it took us like, I don't even know how long because we're not even tracking our time for just linking. This usually takes about 5 seconds. Okay? And instead it took 10 minutes. All right?
Okay.
So we need to take a break now, and then I don't know what we should probably be doing a view up. But again, if you don't care about following the policies, I can say it literally 100 times, and it just doesn't matter. Like if we were following the policies correctly, we would always be tracking our time, and we do a view up because we're out of time, right? But if you just don't care, then we just move on to the priorities and we just get the work done. But either way, we need to take a break. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. 5-minute break.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, I am back. So, is there anything I can say to help you understand this to make it go faster next time?
I think I already understand the setup.
The setup, but it's not really setup. It's just like linking the notes and making sure we know what we're working on and understanding what. I mean, it just seemed like you just didn't even know what token profiles were. You had no idea what it was going on. Like, is there anything I can do to help so that next time we can just get focused on the work? Or
I think probably the next question will be, right now we have all that we need to move forward into client work, or we need something else?
we're doing client work. We've been doing client work for 10, 15 minutes. We just are doing a really bad job of it, right? We're just not organized. Like, this is what we would call being completely unorganized, like not meeting the expectations of the client, doing really bad, poorly. So the question is, how do we improve so that when we're billing the client for work time and hours, we're doing good work, right? Like, if you want to do good work for your clients, right? You don't want to just tell them, oh yeah, we just basically had no idea what we were even working on. It was a complete disaster and we just wasted tons of time, like, and we're so excited about billing you to get paid, So it's like, the goal would be, how can we get more organized in the future? Like, is there anything I could say or tell you, or how would you train a new worker to do that in 5 to 10 seconds instead of 15 minutes, right? Is there anything?
I agree. So we just need to do this every single time, and we do progress.
But we do it every single time. We always do this, right? So I don't know exactly what is missing. It just seems like there's something missing. Maybe it's just our incentive, like our negative token. Like, you just need to be breaking. We need to make sure we're tracking people who aren't following the policies and doing the work properly. So I don't know what it is, but it's for me, it's just very odd. So if there's anything we can do to make it better for next time, we should do it. Otherwise, we should just move on.
No, I think we can move on.
Okay, so hopefully in the future we can be much more organized. And of course, I'm just gonna do everything. I literally, it's like, tying my neck and like tying all my hands down, tying all my feet down, and like biting my tongue like over and over and over and over and over again. Because it's just like I'm trying so hard to not do it. It's like so hard for me to sit here. It's just excruciatingly painful to sit around for 15 minutes.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Without like doing anything, because for me, I could easily do it for you in like 10 seconds. But instead, I had to sit there for 15 minutes and hold myself back for your benefit. I'm doing it for you. Does that make sense? Like, this is your training. I'm trying to help you. Do you understand that I'm sitting here helping you as hard as I possibly can? Do you get that, or you still understand?
I'm just processing what you just said to me.
I'm trying to help you learn and get organized. Because if I do it for you, then you'll never learn, you'll never get organized, and you'll just never improve. Does that make sense? The only way you're going to improve is by making sure you get supported to have the time to learn the tasks. Do you understand, or you just don't get it? Because if you do something for somebody, they're never going to learn how to do it. You understand?
I'm saying that I'm processing what you just said. So I'm not saying that I don't understand. Just processing.
Okay, well, I don't know exactly what that means, but hopefully next time we'll be more organized, because whatever we can do to try to get organized is just a million times more important than just skipping ahead and ignoring it, right? So addressing it head on and trying to figure out how to fix it so that it works the next time, because it's not just this, it's everything. It's like, how many hundreds of times do I mention we need to do time tracking? No one cares. Dozens and dozens of times needing to mention that we need to do the work organizing tracking, and no one cares, right? It's like I just say it over and over and over and over again, hundreds and hundreds of times, and people just don't pay attention. So if we can figure out a way to solve that so that people actually do understand when I train, so instead of having to train it 100 times, I can just do it once or twice or 3 times, we would save so much time, like hundreds and hundreds of hours of time, and we would probably save thousands and thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars, if we can solve that problem. So it's a very valuable problem to solve, because it's not just you, it's everybody. You know, it's I don't understand why we have to repeat things like so many dozens and dozens of times, and even after repeating it dozens and dozens of times, people still don't do it. You know. So if we can solve that, we would just be making so much money, which would be insane. All right, so umbrella SFC. Okay, so are we ready to get into the priorities?
Yes, I think so.
All right, so for me, I can see 3 priorities here. There's the 3 priority tokens profiles that we need to do, and these ones we've basically completed 85%, but there are just a couple last little details that need to be done that we could go into. And then the overall umbrella SFC token.
Breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
All right, so we have the 4 priority tokens, and these are the audit profiles. And then we can also mention with these ones, eventually we want to do the 4 priority tokens. We want to do the official profiles, right? So, but for now, we're gonna wait on this for now, right? So we're not doing that, and we haven't. I mean, we're pretty close to being done on that too, but we'll say 60%. Is not as high a priority. So, and then we can put here the score. So for me, you know, priority score. So for me, this is pretty high priority, but this is pretty low priority. So umbrella SFC token, this is going to be official profiles. We'll probably ending up doing, you know, audit as well afterwards, but we could do the official ones and then the audit. And then this is, you know, we could say we're like, you know, 45 or whatever percent. Like we made, like I would say 90% of the actual information is done. We just need to actually start building and working on the actual profiles themselves. And then we have the incentive token. So for the incentive token, it's mainly the calculations and the setup and the, you know, basically, you know, the sites and profiles. And for these ones, we really do want to try to get the official profile started, but again, it probably could happen afterwards. So I think this is probably 10%. So I think these are the most important profiles that we have. Obviously, we could go up a level and sideways. So there's the umbrella leap era cycles. So this would be line 28 is the overall umbrella FQN token for the 98-degree west, you know, leap era, right? So from there, we have the overall SFC token for the Metonic epoch in this last 19 years. And obviously we haven't started that at all yet. And then we also have, you know, the other leap era cycles. These are the ones the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years. So that one, these ones, we'll get to those eventually as well. But
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But yeah, so I think, and then this sort of relates somewhat to FQN as well, because those will be needing to mirror FQN. So I think those are all of our priorities. So we can and so the question here is, okay, what are the top priorities to do? I mean, I would say these ones are pretty low priority here as far as the overall tokens, but the incentive token I think is very high priority. So the question is, why would the incentive token be a high priority? And the answer to that is that without the incentive token, there's no incentive for people to be buying and doing liquidity for our token to bring value, right? So we want to have incentives, and we want to have those incentives as quickly as possible, and we want those incentives to be public because we want people to know what their incentives are, and so that they want to get more incentives, right? Because if all of our incentive tokens are not public, then people won't really know what they are or why they even exist. But kind of like our problem with everything, right? So what do you think that we should prioritize? And let's make sure you understand all these priorities, and that so we can kind of get, I could go over some of the differences between them too if needed.
Well, the first question will be, you're telling me that 1, 2, 3 are the priority, but it should be like a highest priority, so we can focus on that one first. We got 777.
Yeah, I know. I don't know which one we should focus on. I'm not sure. So the difference here is like, so the 4 priority tokens we're making a lot of progress on. PB64 we have actually more or less completed and have it pretty well. I just got the MUKN token functioning and got it online. One of the cool things about the MUKN token that I found out is that in actually creating it, it's so much easier, like, getting we need to do some policies, right? So we still have all of our policies. This is also a very important thing. So policy organizing is super important, in proposals and all of that. So I would put that at very, very high priority as well, is getting all of our policies and proposals organized. I think this is pretty low percentage too. I mean, we're not very organized with that. So let's put those really high up on our list of priorities as well. So one of the things that's cool.
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch. So one of the things that's really cool with this is that if you do it correctly, like the PB64, I did a lot of just like trial and error and just like experimentation, right? And so it was pretty messy. And we only were able to get PB64. So PB64, we had the technical score, right, for the what's called token sniffer. So the token sniffer score for that only got up to a 40. It was the maximum that we could get it to with a lot of work. So with MUKN, with very little work, we got it up to a 50. And so we'll be able to get MUKN above 50, which is really cool. And you can see here that it just automatically says 100% locked liquidity. Whereas the PB64, I had a lot of problems trying to get that. And then if you go to the audit, for token sniffer for the MUKN, it's already at 50, which is just really cool.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What are 40 over 100, 50 over 100, or?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, 50 over 100. I can share my screen if you want, but I can also link it. Do you want me to share my screen, or?
Sure. If it's going to be easy for me to understand, please do.
Okay, I can share my screen. But yeah, so this is a token sniffer. So for this one, we got it to 50 over 100 because it was just really easy, because I set up all the liquidity perfectly and it already went to 100%. And this is partly because I went to version, I know you probably don't understand this, but there's a version 2 liquidity and then there's a version 3 liquidity. And the version 3 liquidity is much more difficult to track. It's possible to track it, but for some reason it's just difficult. But version 3 is has higher levels of technology than version 2, but version 2 is different. So I think we should stick with version 2 because it's easier to track and get, and we really need to get as best a score as possible, because our liquidity scores are going to be terrible. And there's really nothing we can do about the liquidity scores. because we just don't have a lot of money. So we should try to get our other scores as high as possible. So one of the policy things I'm thinking about.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Is that we would only, for incentives, that we would only prioritize version 2 liquidity, and that we would focus on only 3 liquidity pools, and those 3 liquidity pools would be, Pancake Swap version 2 for, and then we do US dollar coin, right? And then we would do Ether, and then we would do the umbrella token, so that each one would have 3 priority liquidity pools that we would give incentives for, and that would make it a little bit simpler, so that we always start with those. Then we can give other incentives if we have the time and ability, right? So this will just make sure that we stay focused on the incentives that matter and the liquidity pools that matter, which will give us the maximum, ideal, scores and audits, and keep things a little bit simpler. So that's still three liquidity pools per token, but I think it's important and good, and it's what we want. So we would do 33% each, right? 33% of the liquidity would go to each of these 3 pools, and we'd stick with version 2 and just make everything less complicated, okay, for the liquidity. So anyways, hopefully that kind of makes sense, but the bottom line here is we're making a lot of progress with these 4 priority tokens. So there is some things that still can be done here to get that completed, but we could also move on to the overall umbrella token and actually get these official profiles set up. Or we could go on to the umbrella incentive tokens, because without the incentive tokens, nothing else matters, right? So if we go back to our goals, right, that I was talking about before, is getting our goals organized, because everything comes down to our goals, right? Our the goals would be like, get as much value into our tokens as possible, which means we want reason for people to buy, hold, and invest in our token liquidity, right? And just our tokens and liquidity, right? Does that sort of make sense as far as like a goal? And then another goal could be like, just get our token profiles public, right? So getting our token profiles public is great, but it doesn't actually improve upon people's interest in buying, holding, and investing in our tokens and liquidity.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Do you see the difference in the 2 goals?
Well, I got a question about the tokens. These tokens are codependent. They need each other to function.
I mean, they're interdependent. Like all of our tokens are like, the whole model is a multi-token, value capture model, right? So each token, like let's say, like our primary tokens is you have our efficient work, our output token and efficient work. You've got our setup token, right? Which is just like our training. For example, today is basically just setup. We haven't actually worked on any efficient output yet. And then you have our communications token, right? So these are all different components of communication. Then you have your just like, other time token,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think my question was that in the parity that we got in the box, we got 4 parity tokens on overall umbrella, overall incentive token. So they need to all of them come together at the same time, or we just can prioritize. Okay, we can move the 4 parity tokens first, or we need to do the umbrella incentive token right away. This 10% is not acceptable. I don't know if I'm asking my question better.
I mean, it just depends on what our goals are, but there's going to be an umbrella token, and then we're going to have all of the value within the umbrella token. So we can work on any, like, the whole model is modular. Do you understand the concept of modular? Modular. It's like a modular ecosystem of tokens. So it's a token ecosystem. It's all modular, so we can work on any individual token separate from all the other ones, but they're all interrelated as part of the token ecosystem. So it doesn't matter, like there's no dependency. It's not like we have to work on one token first and then the next token after that. They're all interdependent, and we can work on any one we want to, and we can prioritize whatever we want to, and then we prioritize another one. But the more functional each token is, the more functional all of the other tokens are, because they will support each other. Does that make sense?
Okay, then for me, the priority will be we are only 50% to complete the 4 priority tokens. We can focus on that one so we can complete something.
Do you mean the 85%?
That is correct.
Yeah, okay. So
because we are missing 50%.
So that would be the line 66 goal of just getting our token profiles public. So we can get our token profiles public.
Pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
We can get our token profiles public, but it's not going to get them functional yet, right? To get our tokens fully functional, we really need to get the incentivization and like the whole functional model, because otherwise they're just, more pretty publicly, but they don't actually work yet. Okay. All right. So, but you said you like to just go with the just get these ones completed and finish that. So you said, right?
Yeah.
So 7.25. So I would say like we do that. Then we either can go on to the overall umbrella token, or we can get into the incentive token. What do you think between, because for me, I think the incentive token is really important. The umbrella token is also going to be important in getting our official profile set up for the overall umbrella token. But it might be good to get the umbrella incentive token done first. So maybe this is 7.25, this is 7.5. So we finish the priority tokens that we wanted to do. We go on to the umbrella incentive token. Then we can deal with the overall umbrella token, and then we really need to get our policies and proposals organized, because without this, we really just don't even have tokens at all, right? We need to get all these proposals and models organized, but yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what is more important for that part, but I think these top 3 priorities makes them at least sense as far as these 3, and then we can just get to the policies as soon as possible. Like, I don't know if we want to skip to that, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. But for now, I'm down to just focus on the priority tokens. This is fine.
Okay.
All right. So do you understand the concept of indexing?
Yes, in stock market is indexing the value of some asset.
No, we're just indexing information. So we're just indexing information, right? So we're just taking the priorities that we just had, and we're adding them to the priorities tab of our work organizing spreadsheet, so that we don't lose it. That make sense? So I just copied and pasted it over, so we have our list of priorities for future sessions. So instead of having to redo all of this work, we can just go to our work organizing spreadsheet and see what the top priority is, and then just get started on the work. That make sense?
But we already created that in this document, correct?
In the notes, you mean?
No. We already created the priorities in this document, so we need to
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
What?
So if I understand correctly, we already create that priority in this document, correct? So we need to bring this over to the next session that we're going to work on this topic, correct?
I literally just have no idea what you're talking about. So do you understand the idea of indexing, yes or no? You just don't get it or not? So you want to index information. So we have the work organizing spreadsheet, and we have the sessions, we linked our session notes, and then we have our priorities tab, it's blank. Do you understand or you don't understand?
Yes, but where is that document? And also, we're going to take the break, or we're going to skip it.
I mean, this is really important. Like, you can't, if you don't understand indexing, like, we're just a disaster. We're just a complete mess. We're a disaster. We'll never be successful. Like, you need to understand indexing, because without that, we have no chance. Okay? So,
I am indexing. I think in my work report, in my note, in my body sessions, I'm indexing, correct? Or what I'm missing?
I don't even know, like, making a link is not indexing information. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, don't use the term indexing to mean something that's not. Right? Indexing information is taking information that's very important that's in the notes and copying and pasting it into like a work organizing spreadsheet or a spreadsheet that is a category and making sure it's updated in the category spreadsheet. Taking something out of the notes and putting it into the category spreadsheet so that we never have to look through notes for it. We call that
Where is the category spreadsheet?
The SFC Co-op token profile client work organizing spreadsheet is organized by category, not linear by date. Right? Our notes are organized linear by date, Monday, Tuesday, 12th, 13th of 2024. So we just copy and paste this list of priorities into the priorities tab. So we always have the most updated priorities in our work organizing spreadsheet. And we call that information indexing. Does that make sense or not?
So we already got the sessions in the token provide client work organization spreadsheet, and we need to paste the priority in the tab.
I don't know, you sound like it's just like not needed to be done. I don't understand. Like, yes, we make sure we're linking all of our notes every single time, and instead of having to go through dozens and dozens of links of notes to try to find the priorities, we just directly copy and paste the priorities from the notes, and then we don't have to waste hours and hours going through links and links and links of notes to just find our simple priorities list. And we can find it immediately, know exactly what we need to work on, so we never have to waste time on knowing what our priorities are.
Yeah, no, sorry, I think we are having some miscommunication, because that is what I understand too. We already created the priorities in this session, and we need to bring those priorities in every single session, and so we don't lose them. In a lot of documents, we just, I just understand that we need to put that in the link, in the tab of the token profile time work, correct?
Yeah, and that's called indexing information, okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right, so let's take a break. And then when we come back, I don't know, maybe we should go on to something else, because, I mean, this is taking a really, really long time. I think we're at an hour now. So I don't know if we want to go something else or if you want to continue this, but we could actually start getting into the priority profiles if we want to. So anyways, let's take a break and we'll figure it out, okay?
2 minutes?
Sure, like, let's do 3 minutes.
Okay.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
So I need to get back to work, but you were talking about maybe doing.
I'm back.
All right, I'm back as well.
Okay. Okay, so we already spent almost half an hour in barely organizing and half an hour in doing the client work. So if you want, we can move forward into other priority.
Okay, yeah, we can go on to something else. It's fine.
So I see here that we got the umbrella investment tokens.
The umbrella investment tokens. Yeah, that was the idea of. No, we're going on to number 3, right?
Analyzing audit profiles for four-party tokens.
Yeah, it was supposed to take us like 5 or 6 minutes to like do a quick status update. Instead, it took us like an hour.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we move into finalizing audit profiles for four-party tokens, correct?
Well, only if we want to continue on the token client work.
Well, as you told me on Friday, that we always need to divide the work in client work, communications, and internal operations. So for me, that will be ideal, just to try to accommodate the body session into those.
Yeah. So we definitely have some payroll stuff. We have some recruitment stuff. There's a couple new potential recruits that we could invite here. Also, there's a proposal from somebody who is only speaks Spanish, and they are not seeming to take no for an answer. So at first they wanted $4 an hour, and now they're willing to take either like $3, even $2 an hour, because they want to be involved.
Oh, that is great, but well, so we are going to do recruitment then?
Well, I'm just saying that we are doing recruitment already in the background. I don't think you're working on it, but me and Mamoon are working on it. I'm just letting you know that it could affect Cobalt very soon. So I would say that the priority is probably more on the payroll side, or the publicly searchable communications, because we want to get you paid. And then recruitment would be getting other people paid. So I would prioritize you, but it's just good to know that later this week, like tomorrow or later this week, we might end up with some new people. And I do have some questions for you. Since you don't vote on anything, you don't really interact with the team on Discord at all. I do have some questions for you if you are interested at all. Like, I mean, for recruitment, I think the most important question on line 23 would be like, should we start, a Spanish branch of the network, right? Like, and how that would work. I mean, there would be me and you. His name's Marcel. So we have myself, you, and Marcel. The three of us could do some Spanish, right? We have the ability to do that. We could do every other day or something, one day in English, one day in Spanish, or even we could do 1 week and 1 day a week in Spanish just to get started with it, So anyways, we can discuss that. Maybe we could talk about that more in the wrap up. But I think your priority should be the payroll and getting the payroll organized, because without that, no one's getting paid. Or the publicly searchable communications.
For breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
If I can tell you something, I believe simple is safe. So Globish, for me, I see that it works because right now we are having some problems with the communication, with the legal thing. So if this person really is so motivated to work with us, he will need to have at least Globish. So he need to prioritize to learn English, who can communicate with every single one of us. Because, for example, in the main session, if he's going to speak only Spanish, it could be quite a situation to translate to him, and if I translate wrong, that could be also a situation.
Yeah, so I mean, our model is very specific. There is something called a dual language main session. You can technically even do a tri-language main session, but they're very difficult, and I would not recommend it. So the way that we structure things is that we would have our English main session, and then there would be a separate Spanish main session. So the main session for Spanish would be totally separate from the main session in English. Okay? And really what we're talking about, technically speaking, in my mind, is that it actually make more sense to do Español kind of thing, Español, kind of like Globish, except for the Spanish version of Globish, right? Which would be like Español Mundial, it would be like the whole global Spanish, which would be really simple Spanish, right? So we could consider that as well, as opposed to just fluent Spanish. But either way, let's put that aside. We can talk a little about that maybe during wrap up, but don't you think we should focus on your pay?
Okay, we can do the publicly searchable communications. You already told me that a few times before, so we can focus on that.
Okay, so let's get this done. Again, it shouldn't take very long, but let's do 9 to 18 minutes. And I know we don't care about timing, but we have to at least try, I don't know. I can't wait till we start doing our negative tokens, so I can just be like, okay, negative tokens, negative tokens, negative tokens, negative tokens, negative tokens, every single time that people don't do time tracking and don't even attempt to follow the policies, So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we get that approved. Because I hate the policy training is great and all, but it's just like, I can sit here and say over and over again, okay, policy training for not doing time, policy training for not doing time, and I could even go do policy training for not doing time again, 1 hour, not tracking time and going over, right? And it's just like, you don't care, right? So it's like, why sit here and repeat myself 100 times when you don't care about doing the policy training? So that's why I like the negative token, because you don't have to care about the negative token. We can just issue the negative token, and this is Miguel's negative token, and you get it, and you just, if you don't want to do the policy training, that's fine. You just get more negative tokens, and who cares, right?
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to the negative token, because it'll just make easier for me, because I don't have to sit here and wait for people to care about policy training, because obviously no one cares about it. So I don't have to repeat myself 100 times, which literally drives me insane. So anyways, publicly searchable communications. Do we have agreement on topic?
Yes, sir. And about policy training, I need a little bit of a reminder about how to do that, because I don't know how to do that.
I mean, I'm assuming you've done policy training before. You're saying you've never done policy training?
I don't
Miguel,
have
policy training. We are breaking policy as we are not doing a separate buddy team. So you did policy training on July 24th, 2024 was the last time you did it. So you're definitely capable. You just go to the policy training channel and you write the policy that you broke and, you know, some sort of hourly equivalent for the value of how bad the policy was. So the worse the policy is, the more time you put towards it. Okay? So,
sorry.
Yeah.
So just put policy training in the policy training channel. That is policy training?
that's it. Yeah, all policy training is just education and learning about the policies that you're breaking, and the only way to verify it is that people actually write it themselves, and then we can verify. Because I would say half the time, that maybe less than half, well, more 90% of the time people just ignore the policy training and just don't care, right? But of the 10% of time that people do their policy training, I would say that, you know, 2 out of every 10 times people put the wrong policy and they don't actually know what policy they broke. So the whole idea of policy training is you write down the policy that you broke, and then we can verify that you actually know what you did wrong so that you can be learning. And because it's training, it's like training you what the policies are and verifying that the worker knows what the policy is so that they, when they break it in the future, they can know and break it on, ideally on purpose. That make sense?
Okay, so how much time is 1 hour?
For what?
For not tracking time.
I mean, we went over topic. So for me, the time going over topic is 1 hour. Not tracking time, I would say, is just like 0.5, 0.25, 0.33 hours, you know. But then when you don't track time and you go way over time, I mean, it's just exponential in terms of how much over time you are.
Stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move
quick
around
stretch.
for 30 seconds.
Okay. So are you ready for topic 2?
I think so. I already wrote in the channel.
Great. So the cool thing about topic 2 is that actually this is pretty already organized. So if we go into our team sheet and we click on communications, it's not completely organized, but that's okay. So let's cover the policies, and I also want to go through the calculations quickly. So we went through the calculations a little bit before. I wish I had the link to the calculations. I feel like we need these calculations linked to our main sheet. So this is training on payroll calculations. Let's see if we can find it. So payroll calculations. Training on exact calculations to ensure perfect 100% pay. So that's kind of what we're focusing on here, is getting, how do we get 100% pay? For 100% pay. So this is sort of like our mathematical calculations, and I'm still kind of improving on it, and so I did want to make one small change. So I'm back into our notes. These are our calculations. And I think that the best way to think about it is that you start with, the first thing you start with is, you know, the client potential income, right? So it's the client potential income, which would be the amount of money, right, that is available for the income. Then you do, at the end, you do the client invoice. So technically the client invoice is not currently required, but I think we should have the client invoice required. So basically, if you don't do the client invoice, there's no money.
Please stop.
Right?
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
If the client potential income is $50 and we want to charge the client $500, there's no money. We only get $50, or we need to renegotiate with the client, right? So it's very important to the client potential income multiplied by the all the different work, and we are going to have 3. We can get rid of this. So we're trying to simplify. So there's going to be the 3 specific internal ops. So you have internal ops. Yeah, we'll just leave it as that. Okay, cool. So this is good enough for like a starting point as far as like the mathematical calculations. And we're focused on line 36 here, which is our focus, right? To how do you make sure that you're multiplying your value at the end times 100%. So if you have 0% publicly searchable communications, then you get $0. Okay, that makes sense?
Okay.
Because you're multiplying the amount of money that you would get times your searchable communications. So do we understand why that is? Because I always like to make sure people understand why, otherwise it's kind of pointless, right?
Because we are a public organization that every single person on the planet, if he or she wants to know what's going on, he will be able to do it.
Yes, yeah. So we are publicly accountable, but the problem is that people just refuse to follow policies, right? No one gives a crap about our policies unless it affects your pay. So for years and years and years, we've been publicly accountable. And we're supposed to be doing outreach and public communication, but nobody does it, right? So then, this is like about 9 months ago now. It's been about 9 months. We changed our policies to require publicly searchable communications. I spent over 100 hours setting up the entire website model for the public communications for FQN, and everybody just totally ignored it. It ignored the policies, and then shut down the organization. So the publicly searchable communications, the only way I can think that is ever going to happen is if it just affects people's pay. It's either you do it and you get paid, or you don't and you get no money and you get fired, and that's it. Because it's just outrageous that people just refuse to do the publicly searchable communications when it takes no extra time, very little extra effort. It's just minimal. The amount that it takes to do the publicly searchable communications is so minimal.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So the reason why we don't pay people money if they refuse to do the publicly searchable communications, and this is only for work continuity group. For SFC team, for both me, Mamoon and Lucy, as well as HR board, they don't have to do any publicly searchable communications because they refused to approve the proposal that required it. But we did approve it for work continuity group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and so it has nothing to do with the fact that we're publicly accountable. It has, because they're publicly accountable too. They just don't care. And nobody cares, and nobody will follow the policy, including you, unless it affects your pay. So the only way to get people to do it is to say you're not getting paid. So let's think about how you actually deal with this, because the how is very, very simple. So now we understand the why, right? So the how is pretty simple. So let's say you don't do publicly searchable communications, right? Then how do you get paid? It's very simple. You would copy and paste all of your Discord communications from Discord to the email group, website, Facebook group, etc., right? So you have all these publicly searchable communication options, and you would just copy and paste it. For 1 week, let's say it would take probably anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes if you had like tons and tons of communications. You were on like 30 channels, right? And you don't just copy your own communications. That takes longer. You just copy all the communications you are involved with, because that's much faster. Because when I was training Abdu and Miguel, Abdu and Angelito to do this, they would go through and they would individually copy every single message that they personally sent and then skip the next message that someone else sent and then individually you just copy all of it in 2 seconds, and you copy and you paste it in 2 seconds. It takes 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and then you go on to a different channel, right? So you just copy and paste the whole channel, right? Everybody's communications, it's super fast, right? And then you would spend another, I mean, for you, it's probably going to take 3 minutes because you have so few communications on Discord, and you're only responsible for your own communications. Does that make sense? That you're not responsible for everyone else's communications. So if we have 5 people on work continuity group and 4 of them don't do publicly searchable communications and 1 person does, the person who does do the publicly searchable communications can get paid, everyone else doesn't. Right? That makes sense?
Okay.
So then you would also need to go through, you need to copy and paste all of your WhatsApp communications from WhatsApp to the email group, website, Facebook, etc., etc., right? So we have lots of different publicly searchable options. And you would just go and you paste and copy there as well. This, I mean, you have such few, I mean, it's really like 2 to 3 minutes to take to do that. It's so fast because there's like hardly anything there. You just copy, paste it, done. Okay, so it literally shouldn't take you longer than like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because you have such few communications. But someone like me who might be communicating for hours and hours and hours and hours on Discord, it still shouldn't take me longer than like 15, 20 minutes. 30 minutes max. Even if you're just like literally writing a book on Discord, because it's so easy and fast.
So I need to put that in the email group, website, and Facebook?
No. You just have to choose one. Right? So as long as and then the other option, of course, so that's like option 1 is that if you don't do publicly searched communications, you just spend a few minutes every week copying and pasting your communications. The other option, of course, is to actually use the publicly searchable communication options for all communications. So if we just don't use WhatsApp, we don't use Discord, like WhatsApp is just, no one will ever have access to WhatsApp. Right? I have no idea how to make WhatsApp publicly searchable. It's impossible. Discord, same thing. I have no idea how to make Discord publicly searchable. It's impossible. Right? So the only things that are publicly searchable that I know of are basically you have the email group, the website, Facebook group, LinkedIn, etc., right? So these are Twitter or X, right? So there's a whole list of potential publicly searchable communicational platforms. But WhatsApp is not one of them, and Discord is also not one of them.
The email group. Let me review that one, because I don't know if I.
Sorry, say again.
I'm trying to find the email group.
Yeah, so line 12 for communications, and then I can go over all of the other parts as well, but yeah.
Line 12 of our current body team. Okay, 12. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks so much. I see it.
Yeah, so I'll go through some of the other.
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
All right, so why don't we take a break? But yeah, so for the work continuity group communications, it's line 12, right? So that's the Google group we've been using for that, and that is publicly searchable. Yeah, but that's not everything. We also are required to make all of our notes publicly searchable. So let's take a break. When we go back, I'll go over how to make notes publicly searchable. Make sure all notes are publicly searchable as well. Okay, so quick break, and then we'll finish this up, and then we can go on to wrap up. Or we can talk about other payroll stuff.
Honk. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I'm back. So I am sending a request. Oh, are you back, Jake?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sending you a request so I can access the group, the WCG team, because I'm not on it.
Okay, approved. Excellent. Pending.
So sorry, this is the first time that I'm using this. So I just create a new conversation, type, copy and paste everything, and send it, and that's it.
Yeah, you would just copy everything, put it in here, and send it here, or you just send a message directly in here. And this is one of our communication options. Eventually, we need to choose like a publicly searchable communication option, whether it's our website or the Discord. Oh no, we can't do the Discord. It'll be the website, the email group, the Facebook group, Twitter, whatever. We can use whatever we want, but we need to all decide on what to use, because WhatsApp will never count, or for now it doesn't work, and neither does Discord.
But sorry for asking again. So if I paste my communications in the group, I will be following policy, correct?
Yeah, all you have to do is just copy any communications that are not publicly searchable, and you pop them into a location where they are publicly searchable, and then that meets policy. You only have to choose one. You don't have to do all of them. You just do one.
Only, for example, only one, not all of them?
Just one. Literally takes like 5 seconds. Do you want me to show you an example?
No, let me try on my pen. So, okay, let's go to the search channel. For example, my communication of today, Miguel 0.5 policy training. I can, well, this. Okay.
I wouldn't worry about the policy training. This isn't really communications, right? Communications would be like, sending a message to somebody. I don't know if you don't really use Discord for communications, right? But you can do your 0.5 policy training, because this is some of the only things that you have, so you should use it. Just do it. Copy and paste it.
So I copy the whole chat.
Sure, just copy a bunch of it. You don't have to copy the entire thing, but you can copy a couple lines, or just like a couple
Time to pause.
pages.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, let's try it. Let's do this right away. See how it works. Okay, I already did.
Great.
So that's it.
You also need to do your WhatsApp communications as well.
Okay, but this is already following policy, right? Can you tell me that?
Well, for that one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do it all of them. Just one of them, and that's it.
What do you mean, all of what?
All of the communications, just one.
Just your communications.
Yeah, of course, one communication.
Yeah, that's the only communication that you had for this month. So on Discord, right? Or is there anything else? Do you know when the from Miguel? No, that's not it. From Miguel. All right, here we go. So it says that you've been posting notes. So when you post the notes, that's actually a much more important communication. We also have a communication from you on August 6th. So I don't know if that's before or after the new moon. So we would have to verify the date of the beginning of the month, but you would want to have all of your communications from this month, right? So if I go to Moon Giant, we would be looking at August 2024. And it says the new moon was on August 4th. So August 8th would count. August 6th, you have a message. August 5th, but then August 2nd, you could ignore that because you're not getting paid from before that already. Okay?
No, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost. So I already shared. Well, it's already in
Time
this
for
form.
breath.
You need to share
Please
that
stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So say again, what?
So I need to copy the body teams and send it to the email group.
What buddy teams? What do you mean by buddy teams?
The body teams that you just told me. The body teams that you and
I mean the notes. The notes. Does that mean like okay? Can you see my screen at all?
Yeah.
So if you go to Discord and you write the word from : and then you put your name of your username, right? It'll come up with all of the messages that you posted. So I could just take all of these and I could oh no, it doesn't let me copy them. No. I can't do it. But you can go through and you can click on each one, copy it, and then click on the next one. Copy it, click on the next one, copy it, click on the next one, right? Also, it's good to know in relationship to notes, we have another, like the communications, which is unlimited, then you have notes, which is also unlimited, right? So for notes, though, you're only going to do those during the session. So as I can give you an example, I don't know if you can see my screen right now, but if I go to the notes one, this would be work continuity group notes. I already did topic 1. So I'd say new conversation, and then I would go, okay, this is topic 2 for our communications, right? For our publicly searchable communications, topic 2. And then I could just like copy all of our notes like this, and then when you're copying notes, you want to put it in one cell to get rid of the grid, right? Do copy paste in a cell, and then I can copy and paste it into the email, and then I could post message. Right, so now I have topic 2 for publicly searchable communications on our notes, right? So every topic in our notes can have like a thing, right? Then when you get into the next ones, these are the topic updates. So topic updates is a much more refined summary. At the end of every topic, you do a little sentence or two on just like the update of what was accomplished in that topic. And then at the end of every session, you do a little update on what happened at the end of the session. And then we'll also be doing daily and weekly updates, but I think those will just happen for the whole co-op as opposed to as a team, right? We don't need to do team updates and co-op updates. We'll just do overall co-op updates every week, every day.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So notes can also be, you can send the link to the notes would go into the notes group. Does that sort of make sense?
I know that you are thinking about a very simple task, and I am overthinking it. So just to go to the basics, I already shared one communication. I already did the policy, correct?
For this week, but you had other communications from last week. So if you want to get paid from last week, you need to copy and paste your other communications, including your the notes links, and there's the communications about the budget, about Abdu. This is when Abdu quit, right? So that was in this month. Abdu, do you want to check in? Checking in with Abdu. So I don't know. Those are the month, the date of the month is August 4th. So anything after August 4th, which starts here on August 5th, if you want to get full payment for this month, you just need to spend the 5 seconds to copy and paste each communication into the publicly searchable documentations, right? Or just use publicly searchable communications in the first place and don't use WhatsApp and don't use Discord. Does that make sense?
Okay, but when I'm going to share a body team, all the notes of the body team, I need to copy all of our tabs.
That's a totally separate thing, which is our notes updates, right? So we'll be doing that separately, right? But the communications is what we're talking about now. We're just talking about publicly searchable communications, right? Which is the line 12, the communications group. But then we want to go into the updates group. We're going to have our notes updates, our topic updates, decision updates, policy updates, session updates, daily and weekly updates. And this is all part of our multimedia model of getting more engagement with the public and doing updates regularly during our sessions, after our sessions, daily and weekly, to keep the public updated about what's going on. Okay?
Okay, I got another question about that because when you look for my communications, it show up just a few, but when I look at my name at Miguel, it's showing me pages 80 results. So how I can get that specific result that you got?
Yeah, you have to do from and then colon and then you have to put your username, right? So it'd be from colon Miguel.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick stretch. So did that make sense as far as the from part of it?
No, the thing is, I'm not quite a Discord guy. It's the first time that I'm using it. I have another channel, but so when I type in the search box at Miguel, okay, one moment please. So during a specific time, so you tell me that is from August.
No, you know what? You don't want to worry about from the time. You're just gonna write here. I'll put it into the notes, okay?
Okay.
So if you're searching on Discord, you would search for this from, and then you put your username DURMESTF, and you should just click on it. If I write Miguel, it'll come up with DURNF. You know, if I just write Miguel from Miguel, and then I click on Miguel, it comes up with that.
Please. Okay, it's better. It's not 88. It's 32.
Yeah, but you only have to go back to I think it's August 6th was this month, because August 4th is beginning of last month, you know.
So August 4th. Okay, so okay. So I can take screenshots of this and then put it in the.
You could do screenshots, but it would be easier just to like copy and paste them. I mean, it would be faster for me to copy and paste them, but if you want to upload screenshots, you could do that too.
The thing is not allowing me to. Oh yes, it's allowing me to do that.
You just have to click on the jump and then you go there, and I don't know. You just do one at a time, you know, and then go to the next one and do the next one at a time. Should be very quick. Shouldn't take long.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Anyways, you can do this later. Right now, let's just do the training. Can we focus on the training?
Okay, sure.
So you know how to do that one now?
Yeah. I think
Okay,
so, yeah.
so now the next one is that we are required to make all of our notes publicly searchable. Okay? So the way you do that is you go up to the File tab on the notes, you go down to Share, and then you go to Publish to Web, and then you would click on Publish. And you have to do that for all of our notes, and then we have to verify that all of our notes have been published. And we do that on our, like if we go to our sessions notes, we would be verifying all of our session notes, that they are all verified properly and that they're all published properly. So for now, we have not verified and published them.
Okay, so we're going to
Okay, again, that procedure, please.
Oh, well, I'm not ready right now. Can I go in Zoom?
Everyone has to order, put it in the
They have it, put it, well, just give me it then. I don't really want that same thing though. Alright, so, question, what was your question?
Yeah, again, can you please show me that procedure? So I'm seeing the
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I'm seeing your screen.
Okay, so you go to any notes or any document, you go to File, and you click on File, and you go down to Share, right? And then on Share, you go to Publish to Web, and you click Publish to Web, and then you would click on Publish. And then that would automatically publish the notes to the internet to make them publicly searchable.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So again, you don't necessarily do that now, but that is something that needs to be verified each month, that all of our notes have been verified as publicly searchable. I don't know where I want to. You don't really want to do the same thing, but maybe get chicken salad, broccoli, chicken fried with everything fried. Roasted chicken salad. Maybe I'll try this one. That sound good. Herb slaw.
Pickled onions, crispy onion, boiled egg.
Boiled egg's fine. No pickled onion. Anything delivered?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any other questions on that?
No.
Cool. Alright. Sweet. Alright. So I think that's pretty much it. Now you just need it. So
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So I would say your current percentage publicly searchable is somewhere around, I don't know, 10%, right? You're making some progress. So you needed to make sure you do your WhatsApp, finalize your Discord, and then we need to make sure all the notes are public, and then that's it. I can't think of anything else that would be required. This would be 100% of everything.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be much to do this. Like, it's pretty minor stuff. So then what we need to do is we need to do the time tracking spreadsheet and tabs. So I don't know if we want to spend a moment to do that. Otherwise, we can wrap up and check out.
No, let's do that. I'm tracking spreadsheet and tabs.
Okay, well, let's just do it really quickly. So if we go to the current spreadsheet, which I'm not seeing, here we go. Single spreadsheet. So we're looking for August SFC work continuity group. Okay, so this is last month. So this would be 164 degree moon month. All right, so I'm going to open that, and then I am going to go to the correct, I'm in the correct one, and then I go here and I say duplicate, make a copy. Also, we would want to make sure and verify that our work hours tracking spreadsheet is published, right? Because everything gets published to the web, right? So then we come back here, and we go to, that's really weird. Oh yeah, then we go to the next, oh no. This needs to be refreshed. Okay. Okay, good. Oh no, it's still, oh yeah, it's working. And then insert or above. So then we're going to want to link this new spreadsheet. So here, this is the copy of 164. So this will be the new one for 12 degree. So we're at 12 degree east, okay? So that's the new one, and I can share it. So for now, we'll keep everything the same, but eventually, there's a whole bunch of things that go into setting up this properly, but for now, at least we have the copy so that we can know it exists. So, but when we get the new client,
please stop, close your eyes, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, open your eyes.
When we get the new client model and structure for all the client work, we're going to need to update all of the numbers on the client work and the potential income. So that's going to be a substantial update, but we don't need to worry about that probably until next month. And this is going to be August, September moon month. So we're in the August, September moon month, 2024, 12 degree east. Okay, and then we also want to make sure that this gets copied into the work continuity group budgets and payroll. So here's the 164. Oh, it looks like we already, oh no, this is wrong. Why is that there? So odd. Alright, wait. Yeah. Oh, maybe I had copied it from before. Weird. No worries. Just do it again. Alright, cool. So then this is the 12 degree, and this is the 164 degree. Okay? So we always want to keep track of all of our budgets and payroll in our main sheet. And then I also keep track of all of the payroll spreadsheets for the entire co-op here. And so this is going to be 12 degrees east. So does that make sense, or you follow me, or what?
I'm a little bit lost about that last process.
Well, as long as you have the link, that's what matters. So now there's a whole bunch of more setup details that need to be done for this. So let's just focus on you briefly. So if we go to Miguel tracking, I would come in here and I would delete everything from the previous month and make sure it's all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right? And see if there's anything else here. So 0.
Sorry, I just did that today and yesterday. Why you are deleting that?
Because this is the new spreadsheet for this month.
Okay, you already copied it. You already duplicated it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is 12 degree east. So everything that you did from before should have been from the previous month. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just coming in here and make everything 0 so that it all adds up correctly. And typically I would do this all at the same time for the entire organization, but it's just you. So we just go through and do you, there is another way you can just copy and paste the whole thing, which makes it go faster. A little client work be like that.
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
I can open it up even wider here. Alright, so anyway, so this is pretty much ready for you to start tracking hours in for this month now. Okay. I'm going to finish deleting this. So then when you get into the actual hours tracking, let's say I go to the hours tracking, this would be, we actually can do daily tracking as well as weekly and monthly tracking. But for the upfront calculation, so that's weekly or daily, you would multiply here the publicly searchable communications. All right, so Miguel, you would say you're at 10%. We'll say I'm at about 25%. Maybe I'm at 33%, making some progress, right? So your total amount of money that gets cut that you would get paid for would be multiplied by the 10%, so you would just get way less. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But it's easy to fix because you can just copy, all of it. All right, let's see if there's anything else. There's a couple more things here. So this one. Anyways, we do need to prioritize more time to set up all of the payroll properly, but this is at least a super fast setting it up, at least for you, so that you have a little bit of ability. All right, so any questions? So this is all ready to go for tracking. Did you have any questions on that?
We have the I'm sorry, something that is a little bit overwhelming is too much to track, too much to follow through. That's generating a little bit of a stress because right now we are in a new month today.
No, the Moo month started on August 4th.
So okay, we are.
So we're just starting a new week, though. This is the first quarter week, because August 12th is the beginning of the second moon week.
But we are still we still have the month. So
Yeah, we're in the 12-degree east moon month. We approved the budget for the 12-degree east month on time. All of that was done perfectly. So we've been through the first week. So your last week, you need to be tracking it in the new moon week. So you have all of last week that you need to track, right? And then we can estimate your total value for the first week because we do daily and weekly calculations now.
So that is going to be from this point forth.
I don't know, I mean, this point forth. For last week, we didn't set up the payroll properly because we just didn't do it. So now we're doing it now. We're a week late on setting up the payroll. We're supposed to be doing it by the end of the month, but again, we don't have any pay stops or anything, so we don't follow the policies. So do you not understand or what?
Sorry, I feel a bit tired. So it was quite a long day in the work. So yeah, just leave it as it is right now, and tomorrow we can address this thing again because I need to go.
Yeah, I think it's good to get going, and we need to update all the days of the week so we could update the days of the week next time, but this would start at August 4th, 5th, I believe, would be the first day of the month. Does that make sense? And then you go to August, 5th, 6th, August 6th, 7th, August 8th, 7th, 8th, right? So anyways, we'll go through and we'll try to get that all organized, okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right, so let's go into our wrap up for today and get all of our time tracking organized so that we have all of our time perfectly organized from the previous week, right? So we should be fine to add it to the tracking hour spreadsheet. So for today, the priorities were obviously we do line 47. This was like the view up. Wrap up and everything, and we spent at least, I don't know, 0.33. And then we went into the token profiles. Let's double check on this one. Token profiles are line POS equity token profiles 163. And then we went into communications. Let's just call it payroll, right? Because it's about getting paid. And that would be payroll, call it payroll setup, right? 59. Okay. So we spent about, I don't know how long we spent on that. How long did we spend on the payroll?
Like maybe 15 minutes or something like that.
All right, I'll put 0.33. Then we did like at least an hour on the token profiles. So We're doing 2 hours total. So we do 1.33, I get 2 hours. So I would say we did 0.33 hours on the view up wrap up, 1.33 hours on token profile.
Please get focused on the session.
Yeah. And as far as efficient work, I don't think we had any real efficient work per se, except for like a little bit of copying and pasting for the communications. We don't hardly have a topic for that, but it's okay. So maybe we could do like 0.25 on that a little bit. Sweet. So anyways, I think we're good. Next steps are pretty clear. I think we just need to continue with the tokens and like get payroll organized and address the recruitment and figure out what we want to do for the Spanish stuff, and all that will be getting in the proposal. And then yeah, and then we also want to do the multimedia communication. So we understood the public communications, but now we need to do the multimedia and the updating of our activities. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other next steps, questions, anything? Otherwise, I think we're done.
Well, what I told you before, I think there is a lot of things that need to be followed that is going to generating some stress, because I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with all of this, but well, one day at a time.
Yeah. One thing at a time. I mean, what's a lot for one person is not much for another, right? But making progress. So I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just so minor and easy, but it's like obviously I'm really fast at things. I do things like I can do a lot, you know. But it's if we just communicate on the email list, or we just communicate on Facebook or whatever, then we don't have to worry about Discord or WhatsApp. So that's done. And then if we just track our hours every single day at the end of the session, and we do our payroll setup on time at the end of the month, then that'll be done. We don't have to worry about that. So I don't know. If we just do that, there's really just so little that needs to get done, right? So if we wanted to track our hours right now, we could, but I know you need to go. We can just track it later, you know. So.
Oh, I can do it later or tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be fine. Anyways, I think we're good to go. So if there's no other last questions, you know, and obviously I'll repeat things, you know, 3, 4, 10, 20, 100 times, whatever it takes. We'll just keep going over it one step at a time.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank
I'll
you for that.
talk to you later. Take care.